There's been somebody from your distant past who is resurfacing in your thoughts randomly. And I feel like you're sitting there going, why are these thoughts crossing my mind? Like, where is this coming from? Because you have not talked to this person in years. I'm not talking like a couple months. I don't even feel like this is like, oh, yeah, it's been like 2 or 3 years. No, this feels like somebody that you have not spoken to 10, 15, 20 years. Like it has been a long time. But I want to pull some cards. I want to gain some insight around this. And I tried to record this video prior to this, and it didn't work. So I don't know if you're really hesitant, if you're kind of like, I don't really want to acknowledge these thoughts. I don't really want to, acknowledge what I'm feeling. But open yourself up, okay? And I already pulled the cards because I already did this reading. So I will reshare kind of what I said in the video that ended up getting deleted. So what I'm really feeling is this isn't necessarily like you want to rekindle anything. For some of you, this is going to be a collective reading. So for some of you, this is going to make sense for a romantic partner. For some of you, this is going to make sense for a friend or a family member. Take it in whatever way feels right to you. And I always encourage people to follow their own intuition and use their own judgment, okay? But this is what Spirit is giving me. And I don't believe in coincidences. So if you're coming across this video, there is a reason for it, okay? So this is somebody, like I said, you haven't talked to them in years, maybe a decade or two. Like it has been a long time, and they have crossed your mind periodically here and there, just as you have theirs. But I don't feel like there's really been any communication between the two of you. I do feel like maybe there's been a little bit of a social media, peeking in on the other person, but there hasn't been actual communication. And what Spirit is really showing me is there's a reason that this person is so heavy on your mind right now. So we're going to dive into that. If you're new to me, hi, my name is Ashley Smrowski and I'm a spiritual medium psychic. Be sure to click the follow button if you don't already, and know that I will never reach out to you, but the fake pages pretending to be me absolutely will. So just report them, just block them. And if you ever want to book with me, just click the link in my bio, go straight to ashleyspiritualmedium.com. So the first card that had come out here is the Well Maidens. And this is a card that talks about kindness, respect, compassion. And I feel like that's what you're being called to focus on. Kindness, compassion, respect, patience, understanding, all of those really high vibrational feelings, love, for yourself, for the other person, and for the situation. For what happened way back when that kind of caused the distance, and for what has kind of come to the surface since then. Because I feel like you've been in this like linear stage of healing, and healing is linear. It kind of comes and it goes, and there's an ebb and a flow. And there's a reason that this person is so heavy on your mind, and that's because you've learned the lessons that you needed to learn to get to this point in your life. It's because you've matured as much as you have. And now your soul is recognizing, okay, now we're ready for this final stage of healing. Now we're ready to really bring peace to the situation. And this is somebody that I don't feel you're angry with. They're not angry with you. You both have moved on. You both have healed. You both have, taken the time to reflect on what was and what is. And you're really both very content, very much at peace with where you're at in your lives. But there is still this little piece that just needs some closure. And the message that I keep hearing is you haven't reached out, and this person hasn't reached out in all of these years because there is a fear of rejection. And also there is this mutual respect, this mutual love that you do have for one another, even though you've gone so many years without speaking. And it's like this feeling of, I don't want to disrupt their life. And guess what? They're thinking the same thing. So you both are having the same thoughts. You both are having the same feelings. One person has to make the move. So if you're seeing this, you're being called to be the person to make the move. The second card that came out is Ride the Waves, which talks about life lessons and growth. It says you will get through this. So this is, again, all about the lessons. It's about you've reached this final stage in this journey for you, and it's time to really bring peace to the situation. It's time to really say what's on your heart. And again, I don't really feel that this is going to be a rekindling in the sense of a romantic relationship. I feel this is more in a platonic way. I have love for you. You'll always have a special place in my heart. I really wish you the best. I'm thankful for what we had and what we experienced, and really just being able to share that with one another, because you both are needing that, even though neither one of you want to necessarily admit it or be the one to make the first move. And then the third card that came out says She Who Flows, which talks about being open to change and going with the flow of life. So see where this path takes you. See what happens. I'm not saying reach out to them immediately after seeing this video unless you feel really called to do that, but sit with it. Feel what you need to feel. Start really acknowledging the thoughts that you've been trying to ignore for a really long time, because this person is surfacing in your mind so much and so frequently right now because you're doing the same for them. They're thinking about you constantly, and they're doing the same thing. They're sitting there scratching their head going, why? And it's because there is a soul connection. So even though you're not in communication physically, your souls are still tied together, and always will be in some sense of the word. But you're really being called to reach out. And I just want to go ahead and I want to pull just kind of one last card to wrap this up. And if you're resonating with this message, let me know in the comments and favorite it or save it so you can come back to it. And then the last card is the Healer card, which says there's a soul purpose. It talks about healing. And so I don't know how well you guys can see it, but right there it talks about soul purpose, healing. So this is really a card that's like, this is a part of your soul's journey. Your soul and the other person's soul chose to have this experience prior to coming into this lifetime. Don't deny your souls this experience, because it is a huge learning curve, or a huge pivotal point for your learning, for your soul's evolution. And it's also really going to bring you so much more peace than you could ever anticipate, because it's like you're closing the final chapter on a book that you've just kind of had sitting on the shelf for a really long time, and you're always looking at it going, yeah, I'll finish it one day, but not today. It's time. You deserve it. They deserve it. Be kind to one another, be kind with yourself, and know that you reaching out to them, it's not going to disrupt their life, and it's not going to be rejected, because they also want to reach out to you. They just are having the same feelings. I don't want to mess things up for them. I don't want to disrupt their life. I don't want to be rejected. You both have a mutual love for one another. Even if it's now platonic or always was platonic, that's okay. You're allowed to love people from every stage of your life. You're allowed to keep that special place in your heart for them always. It doesn't mean you want to go back and make them a major part of your life anymore. It's just about being mature enough to say, I'm grateful for this, and I'm grateful for our time together, and I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned, and I will always love you, and I will always respect you, and I really wish you the best. So let me know in the comments, again, if you resonate, save it, and come back to me after you've reached out and let me know how it went. All right, I'm sending you all the love. Listen to your own intuition and follow your own judgment.